Some businesses succeed, some don't. Then there are those that seem to have been around forever. The true entrepreneurial success story. How did they do it? What was their vision? What makes a success? In this special episode for Eye on Annapolis, we speak with the true success stories, those business owners that have been around for decades, learn from their successes and failures. Now, here's host John Fernay.
This is the first for us. We got like 4 people on a microphone for the Legacy Business Spotlight. And we're talking to somebody that we spoke with probably a couple of years ago, but the golf club at South River. We're here with Lex Burney, who is the chairman of the Brick Companies, who we spoke with a couple of weeks ago. We've got Beth Prensky, who is the director of membership.
Yes, correct.
Did I get that right?
Great to see you, John.
And we've got Jenna Sonera, who is the marketing director for the Brick Companies as well. And the golf club at South River has been around for quite a long time. I mean, you just celebrated your...
Just last year, it was the 10th anniversary. So now we're moving on to year 12.
As a private club.
And this has been... initially when I moved down into the area, I thought this was like the private club of South River Colony as that was being developed out. And it has sort of gone through some iterations, and it's a great venue, as we learned a couple of years ago, for weddings and events, and certainly golf, and you've really kept it up. So I guess to Lex, where did the idea of golfing at South River come from for you?
Well, I didn't grow up golfing, so I didn't know much about golf, and I'm still not much of a golfer. So that's a pretty good question.
Do they let you in?
They do from time to time. It's provided there's not very many people on the course, because it takes me a long time and I have to hunt for my golf balls a lot. But I guess to go way back, many years ago, 30-some years ago, in the late 80s, actually in the early 70s, the company had acquired some land over on the Eastern Shore, known as My Lord's Gift Farm. And long story short, we eventually built Queenstown Harbour golf course. And that was so successful that we thought maybe there'd be another opportunity to build another course. And having lived in Annapolis for a long, long time, I noticed that a golf course was being constructed in Edgewater by Exxon land as part of a larger development known as South River Colony. And so when Exxon decided to exit the land business, lock, stock, and barrel after the S&L crisis, they put the golf course, which then consisted of 18 cleared holes and some rough grading, up for sale. And so we bid on it, one of 14 groups that bid on it, and ultimately were successful, primarily not because our bid was the highest or anything like that, but because we were local and had gained some respect in the local community with what we had done at Queenstown. So Exxon felt that was worth a lot in the Annapolis community. So,
well, I think that is, and that's one of the focuses that we've always had, is that you've got to support local, and all business begins on Main Street. It depends on whether Main Street might be Route 2 or it might be Main Street or someplace else, but it does belong in the hands of the locals. And as you said, I know that you've got quite a tie into the water around Annapolis with sailing as well. I know you're involved with several of the charitable efforts.
Well, I'm currently involved in not to digress too much, but in 3 organizations: the Maritime Industry Advisory Board, which is a county executive appointed board, and its mission is to bring awareness to the importance and the history of maritime businesses in the economy of Anne Arundel County, and also in the Severn River Commission, which is also a county executive appointed board that deals with the health of the Severn River watershed. And then more recently helped found the 501c3, the Annapolis Waterfront and Sailing Center, which has essentially taken over the programmatic piece of what the Sailing Hall of Fame did before it left Annapolis to go to Newport. So the Tall Ships Links, the Pride of Baltimore, are becoming this summer pop-up sailing camps, and we've built a strong relationship with public schools, and we're doing actually STEM program education on the water at the city dock. So that's pretty exciting as well, and I think something that gives the focus is to give folks, and particularly kids, access to the water that wouldn't otherwise have that.
Well, to back on the golf club at South River now, Beth, this is not a true public course. I mean, it's not this exclusive golf country club set either. It's sort of what I would consider
Nice
a little bit of a
in-between.
hybrid, if you will.
We are fully private. We have a great experience for golfers and families alike that want to use the club for social purposes, come up with the kids and enjoy a lunch or a dinner, come out for a holiday event. But we are a relaxed club, and Lex, from the beginning, knew that he wanted to establish that, and we've continued with that focus, is making
So
sure.
there's no dress codes.
Well, there is dress code, you know.
I mean, do we need to wear? There's no black ties at dinner.
So, I looked across the room at our holiday party, which is a great event we hold. Usually we'll have the holiday party in early December to make sure we stay away from too many of the holiday festivities and encourage as much attendance as possible. We had a great event this year, about 175 people, members only, but about 175 people. And I took a step back after welcoming everybody in, and I looked across the room, and at a lot of country clubs, you'll have everybody in black tie. And this event draws a lot of people that come, and they look very nice in their jeans, but there were a lot of jeans in the room for our holiday party, and that is how our members are comfortable in a relaxed environment. With that said, we have a great golf experience. So on the golf course, we provide a completely private, customized experience for our golfers so they can come out and enjoy themselves, have a great pace of play, etc. But when it comes to dining, they don't have to feel like they have to stop at home and get their suit jacket, and their kids can feel comfortable at the club socializing.
How many holes do you guys have?
18 here over on this side, and then we do have a reciprocal nature with our Premier Golf full family and full individual program that our members are able in that particular membership classification to play reciprocal golf with waived fees over at Queenstown. So that would then allow our members to be able to include both the lakes and the river course in their play without extra charges.
And how does
Great.
one become a member? I mean, do we have to know somebody and go through the
You have to know
black
me.
ball
First and
procedure or
foremost.
anything like that?
Yeah.
You got a MasterCard or Visa?
Yeah, or checkbook. That's even better. So most commonly, somebody comes to the club either through a referral from another member, they hear about our course, or they live locally, they may have been a member of another course, or hobnobbing around to different public courses and get frustrated with the length of play, etc. And so that's a nice opportunity, and it can go from sometimes an inquiry that I get from the website or a phone call or a local visit, and then they tour the club, apply. There is an application process.
Right.
We make sure that we keep true to that as a private club. And then we meet, I have a membership committee. We're actually meeting this evening. We meet once a month, and we go over applications and then welcome the members into the club.
Well, it's funny, you talked about the casual atmosphere. I know that the Anne Arundel Medical Center does their Denims and Diamonds, and they used to do a formal
People love
thing up
that.
in Baltimore every other year, and people just love the casualness of it.
Well, I think that's the Annapolis area. So
Well,
it goes beyond the golf club at South River and golfing. It's really about the area.
Well, it's funny, Brooks Brothers just closed at the Annapolis Town
There you
Center.
go.
Did they really?
And it is
there you
the
go. Yeah.
lowest performing Brooks Brothers in the chain.
Really?
Per square foot. And I've talked to several people
It's
there
very
that said that
interesting.
it's because they just cannot sell more
So-
formal type of
So that's
of
very
attire.
interesting. I mean, our general manager, as a matter of fact, came to us about 6 years ago. I've been with the club 5 years, so he was there for a full year before me. And he came from a club in New York that was very established and sat in an area that attracted a lot of financial advisors, wealth managers, bankers, et cetera, that had worked there forever, had lived there forever, a lot of legacy members. And it was the opposite. Nobody wore jeans. But you have to market yourselves to the folks that are going to join. So we need to make sure that people
without
are
a
having
doubt.
fun at the club, and that's the type of fun people want to have here.
And I would venture to say that this club wouldn't work in Chevy Chase or
Different style.
with a little bit more formal of an area than it would be here.
Well, what people are looking for is a great experience on the golf course and some camaraderie and to enjoy themselves. And as long as you're providing that, then you can take the dining experience and some other things and specialize it for your area, your demographic, your members. But people, the similarity of a Chevy Chase or a Bethesda or a Chartwell locally with the golf club at South River is golf.
Right.
enjoying golf. Our focus is to make sure that we're focused on the families and the ease of play. So that's one of the reasons that we include carts in our membership, so that mom and dad coming out at 3 o'clock knowing, hey, we want to jump out there and play maybe only 4 holes before dinner because the kids are going to get tired and want their chicken nuggets. They can come out and they don't have to get frustrated with nickel and diming.
So so you could play 4 holes, or you could play 9 or full 18 without.
Yeah. So our mantra from the Golf Pro all the way through the club, and starting with Lex as the owner, is play more golf. And we have a great team of competitive men and ladies league players, so we absolutely support the competition and competitive nature of tournaments, and we have a lot to offer for those members, but we are also there to get new people that are members of the club to explore the game.
You said new people. Is it a fairly young membership, would you say, as far as
our
golf
median?
clubs go? I have no idea. I typically think of golf clubs, and I'm not a golfer. I'm probably with you, Lex. That it's kind of nice to drive around in the carts and drink the beer.
Yeah, come out for a few tournaments, play in a best ball tournament. So usually, if you were to poll most clubs, the average age of the member would be about 64, 65 when you weigh in from your young professional members all the way through your seniors. Our club, if you did that same report, it sits around 49 or 50 years old. So that shows you the differential here locally. And again, it speaks to the area and to the members that live locally that are joining the club.
Well, I've got to think it's also a great opportunity now as we're in 2020, in that you look at the aging population is just getting so active. They're not.
Sure.
My father's generation was sort of the end. They were like, okay, well, we're old and we just sort of hang out, and now it's like, okay, no, we're traveling. We've got to go here. We've got to go sailing. We've got to go golfing. We've got to, my aunt who's almost 90. She thought she was George Bush and she was skydiving. And she loved it. So I think it's so cool that we've evolved as a species, or for lack of a better word, to the point where we are active and we do have these opportunities.
But that brings up another challenge locally, especially with the boating community, sailing, power boaters. A lot of people busy with family activities, sports. The golf club is here to make sure that we provide memberships in different various classifications to suit your schedule. So we have plenty of opportunities that will also allow for limited golf privileges. So we have premier programs that allow for full golf and play at Queenstown. And then locally, if I have a prospective member looking at the club that just quite frankly doesn't have the time because they might have kids and activities or have a sailboat and be out there sailing with Lex, they might only get out to the golf club a couple times a month. We have a program for them that would allow them to be a member and explore the benefits that they want without feeling that they're in the premier membership and just not using it. So that's another value added at the golf club.
And you guys are truly a golf club, right? You're not a country club.
Correct.
You don't have the pools and the racquetball courts or anything like that.
Yes, and when I have prospective members call, I'm very honest with that. We have a lot to offer, though, outside of the game. But yes.
Like what?
We have a full fitness center with 2 fitness instructors. We have a few classes that are included. We have yoga. We have an indoor golf simulator room, which is a great value-added resource that a lot of clubs just do not have and is very attractive to people of all ages. You can rent the room for a party. You can take lessons in the room, and it really extends use of the club for golf. And our golf pro is talking all the time to me and other members about how important it is to keep up your game in the off season.
Right.
If you just put down the clubs in October, early November, when the weather stops cooperating, you don't come out in late March, early April playing well. So the sim room provides you a chance to go and, you can go play Pebble Beach if you want. You choose the course you want to play and work with our professionals and make sure to better your game. And we do a lot with kids in that room as well. Work with our juniors. And all of our golf pros have a lot of good programs for the juniors, both with the camps in the summer as well as lessons in the off season. So that's a great opportunity.
Now, I want to ask all three of you, you need to take off your bias hats. Is the food good there?
Food's great.
Food is great.
Yeah. Because I eat there at least 3 days a week, so I could tell you. And I've tried both the very unhealthy versions and the healthy versions. So we have, we have a variety. And if you live close, it's nice because you can go to the club. We'll know who you are. You have your member number. You don't have to worry about paying on site with cash or credit card. Just all goes to your member account. And one of the things we want to do in 2020 is really branch out and get more businesses involved in our social opportunities at the club, where you can bring clients, potential clients, and steward them just as you would, at a restaurant downtown. I think we need to make sure.
So that would be a business membership that if
Correct.
we wanted to come out and play 9 holes and get lunch?
Yeah, and we have meeting spaces too. So it's a really nice resource because a lot of the hotels in the area will provide meeting space, but at a higher price than we're able to provide. And I think we have smaller rooms. So I think there's a good match up there for relationships. Maybe locally, if there's a group that is a smaller group that we can kind of network with those hotels, et cetera, and bring them into the club.
Well, it couldn't be more convenient too, right on Route 2,
Yeah.
just past Route 214 on the left.
Yeah, it's 3 miles from Annapolis. It's
Plenty
perfect.
of parking.
Free parking.
Plenty of free parking, that's right. Take that, Annapolis.
Yeah, not that Annapolis is pretty inexpensive too, but yeah, so free meeting space and a nice opportunity there. So hopefully in 2020 we can get a few more people out socially.
Jenna, I wanted to ask you, since you're the marketing director of the overall, renting the spaces available, weddings, I know I've seen some wedding shows at the golf club at South River, and I mean, that's a perfect thing. I know Beth had mentioned that, corporates can come in and have meeting space and everything else. What's the meeting space all about?
Yeah, sure. So you actually don't have to be a member to take advantage of all the spaces that we offer. We have a great outdoor pavilion that if you wanted to host a wedding, a reception, even an outdoor event or a golf outing, it's a great use of space, and it's beautiful, set amongst a bridge with a beautiful fountain.
We were just talking the other day, we're also a really nice resource for somebody that's hosting a smaller event that might be a part of the wedding. So it could be the rehearsal dinner, maybe it's a larger wedding, but they want the rehearsal dinner. We're a great venue for a party up to about 100, and it's gorgeous. It's an Adirondack style that was styled after Lake George cottages up in New York, and wooden beam, reclaimed wood, so it really has an authentic sense of comfort and beauty. And then the outdoor pavilion has that same reclaimed wood, so it's an intimate feeling when you're in the room and warm and receptive. So we try to think as often as possible about the events around the wedding. Certainly the wedding, but the other events that are associated with the wedding, showers or birthday parties.
Yeah, and nowadays weddings are, it's one day. So you really want to experience everything that leads up to and even after the wedding. So whether it be first you get engaged and you want to have an engagement party, then that moves into a rehearsal dinner or a bridal shower, or even if you wanted to, get both and have both the men and the women together. That's kind of a big thing now, is celebrating with both sides together.
I'm getting my wedding tips.
Do you want to get engaged? Do you want to tell something, John?
Moving along.
Well, shoot, John, that would be great.
I was at a function there for the Scenic Rivers Land Trust.
Sure,
Oh,
so
great.
They had their celebration.
Yeah.
And
or board meetings, or there's
holiday
opportunity
parties.
there. We have a lot. That's something we do a lot of, but we welcome more of it. But holiday parties in that December time frame, great option there because of the warmth of the room. There's a large fireplace. It lends itself to great events in the winter months. Summer alike, but with the fireplace, it's beautiful in the winter.
I'm assuming you guys have I don't know whether it's an events manager or something like that on site that can work with it.
We do. Kimberly Parker. So she's the person to reach out to. If you go over to the website and head over to Celebration, then you can see everything that we have going on and get in touch with Kim. And right now we also have a fantastic special running. So if you're looking for a wedding venue for 2020, you can actually get your venue fee at 50% off only on the available dates that we have left, which are filling up quick. And then for 2021, we're also offering a free cocktail hour out on the patio. And that's another fantastic offering that we have at the golf club. It's a gorgeous patio out back, and you can really oversee everything going on. And it's a great option for people that are switching out the room, kind of gets people out if you're trying to take
patio overlooks 18, so that's
Right.
why that's a nice view. Yeah.
And even if you're taking your, engagement pictures or your wedding photos the day of, it's a great sense of space for people to actually have something to do while they're waiting around, for the ceremony to begin.
And if you want to get a good look and an idea of what it looks like, we have a lot of great photos online that'll showcase the different areas that Jenna just went over, outdoor and indoor, so you can, and we make sure that we put photos with people in them so you can visualize yourself.
Right.
It's not just so many people put an empty room, so these are event photos, so you can see yourself in the room
Where it is,
before
right.
you would go to the website, maybe call the catering director, Kim Parker, and just get a visual of it so you know what it looks like.
Right, you throw
Sure.
some people in a picture in the wide-angle lens.
Yeah.
It doesn't do quite the job
Yeah.
that somebody would
It
think.
looks impersonal.
This is not your only course, though. I mean, if you are so inclined to brave the current traffic nightmare that is the Bay Bridge,
Depends on how you plan
can,
it. I go over there a lot.
Well, they're doing the
You know?
construction.
They get
It's,
a bad reputation. Sometimes I'm over there at least once or twice a week. It depends on how you time it. But yes, in the full golf program, to be able to go over and play Queenstown is a great benefit that a lot of our members take advantage of in the Premier Golf that allows for that access.
And Queenstown Harbour Golf Course, that is just, outside of Annapolis, that's maybe 20 minutes without a whole lot of traffic, just over the Bay Bridge, up Route 50 a little bit, and it's just past the split, right in the heart of
it's
Queenstown.
actually right before the split, and I guess in the next month or two they're going to be taking out the
Taking
toll
the tolls
bridges
and put them on the other side.
So it'll be a high-speed non-toll booth.
We'll be racing.
And that'll actually help, I think, the traffic a lot. And as soon as the reconstruction is done, it'll be much faster than it's ever been before. And one of the other things we're doing at Queenstown, we started 2 years ago, the first phase of converting it from just a golf course into a resort. So we have 3 cottages there now, which are available to rent. So if you go over there, you can spend the night, and you don't have to put up with the hassle of going back and forth.
I saw those cottages. They're spectacular.
They're
Well,
gorgeous.
and actually, tomorrow I have a meeting with the architects on the next phase of that journey. Well, we will complete the renovations of what has been known as River House. It'll be a small sort of gourmet coffee shop with 2 suites, separate rooms upstairs, and meeting rooms, and a gourmet kitchen that we can use for culinary classes and that sort of thing. And then we'll be rapidly expanding into up to 15 more cottages of different designs for 2 people, 4 people, individual rooms, that sort of thing. And so within the next 2 to 3 years, it really will have all the trappings of a full-blown resort. We have 2 trails. We have a beach trail. We have a harbor trail already, walking trails. They're going to extend the bicycle path from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge all the way to Queenstown, so there'll be lots of opportunities for biking, bird watching tours, all those sorts of things. So
I was just on that path this weekend. I
it's
stopped
a
right
lot of
there at
fun.
the Royal Farms.
It's nice.
That's exactly where I stopped too.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, it's sort of an odd stop, but it was. We commented on that, but it was that'll be really nice. That's a fantastic where you jump in there at Terrapin Beach Park and just take it on out to over across Kent Island and whatnot. That'll be fantastic.
So we expect that Queenstown will become a significantly thought of resort on the East Coast of the United States. I mean, that's where we're headed. It's an extraordinary piece of property. We have 2.5 miles of beachfront, the boathouse where we can tie up 3 or 4 boats with pedestals, and so you can come over by boat, and we put golf carts down there, and then you can come on up and play, and then hop on your boat and go back to Annapolis and skip the traffic that way.
And for anybody that coming into Queenstown Creek, that channel is very unforgiving.
It's actually not too bad if you
unless they've dredged it in recent
hug the
years.
first green marker real close, within 20 or 30 feet, and then at low tide it's probably 3 feet, high tide 5. Although my sailboat draws 7 feet, and I was able to get in last summer, high tide with a couple of pushes from a couple of power boats. So you can get in. Got to work at it.
Way back when I did Cub Scouts, we used to do our end of the year Cub Scout camp out down there by the boathouse, and we would tell people to always make sure you come in the channel, and invariably somebody would just cut a corner and we'd be out there hauling them off.
Well, once you get past that first bump at the first green mark, it really it deepens up to 7 to 8 feet. So
now, how many courses do we have at Queenstown?
there's 2. river course and
Two,
lakes
river
course.
and lakes.
And then you've got the ability to play then with the Premier membership at South River, all of them.
Right.
Yes, the golfers who join South River have opportunity to go to Queenstown and play with waived cart fees, and they don't pay greens fees or cart fees. So that's a really attractive benefit, because we attract a lot of members who formerly played public golf and would buy either a season pass or go around to various courses because they enjoy playing different courses. And so a big value is that they can get good pace of play at a private customized course, but also have the opportunity to go play other courses. So a lot of members are
Well, I've got to think that's got to be a
that.
huge benefit, because I mean, I would get bored playing the same course
Yeah, the board.
all the same time, and I know they do change them up periodically, but that's not.
So it helps me address the board factor. If they come in and I'm giving them a tour at the golf club at South River and they hit me with that concern or question, it's a great benefit for me to be able to talk to them about.
Well, what's the best way to tour it, get in touch with you? What's
Probably most easy, because you're probably hearing this as a podcast and you might not have a pen handy for our phone number. The easiest way to find us is to go to the website, and it's golfclubsr.com. But if you go to Google and type in the golf club at South River, you'll go directly to the site, and I have a direct line into my office that will feed right through to membership. So usually I tell people that's the easiest thing. So we're very easy to search for on Google, the golf club at South River. And my name is Beth, and I'm the membership director, and that phone call will go right into my office, and I will most certainly call you back.
Well, and we'll make sure that we get a link in the
Yeah.
in the show notes, so you can just click on that and check that out. Because I mean, if you are a golfer, this is probably one of the best values and opportunities in pretty much Anne Arundel County.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as long as we've been here, still often we do get calls in the pro shop, people that weren't familiar with us, or maybe think back in the day, before the brick companies purchased the property and turned us into a private course, that we still are open to the public. So there's a lot of opportunity to get out there and make sure people know that we're there tucked away, right in Edgewater, so close to Annapolis.
It is, and it's a really convenient course. As I said, it's right off of Route 2, and you'll see the bridge for the golf carts going
Correct.
over
You
Route
can
2,
see a
and
lot of people wonder. They wonder
your
what that
landmark.
bridge is all. They wonder what that bridge is all about. But the bridge is a cart bridge. No cars allowed.
Well, Beth Prensky, thank you very much. Lex Burney, congratulations on 12 years now at Golf Club at South River, and
Thanks, John.
Queenstown, and everything else you're involved with here in the community. Thank you very much.
Vivek, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this special podcast for Ion Annapolis. Please be sure to visit ionannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinions. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Ion Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you your local news direct to your phone or tablet every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Subscribe on iTunes or Google Play.